The magpies. Magpies are suddenly everywhere in my life. You know, my hens have started laying their eggs outdoors, and it's sort of caught the interest of the magpies. You know, the magpie is the great thief of the bird realm. And there's always been this legend around the magpie as an alchemical bird, that it steals and hoards shiny objects. Even the folklore has entered so deeply into our language that a magpie refers to a person who hoards things. You know, that's what a magpie is. You're a hoarder. You're a magpie. You know, but modern science, in its kind of precision, has now spoiled this lovely legend with the facts. As it turns out, magpies are actually afraid of shiny objects. And to me, it just shows how these totems gather myths around themselves, regardless of facts. You know, and I love that. I think those myths are to be trusted. You know, magpies also often appear in groups, and their groups are called tidings. And this has also entered the Old English folklore through a famous old nursery rhyme you may have heard. 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl, 4 for a boy, 5 for silver, 6 for gold, 7 for a secret never to be told. So the number of magpies you see can tell you something about the future. It's a bird of omen. And you know, my final magpie fact for you is that they're one of only very few birds who've been shown to have self-awareness, and they recognize themselves in mirrors. So all of this, it all amounts to such a rich archetype. And in a dream arc, the magpie is an alchemist, and it's a trickster. It's one of the tricksters. The magpie totem is one of the great alchemical birds. It symbolizes the separation of the gross from the spiritual through the process of balancing the black and the white. This is about the embracing of our fears as well as our dreams. The magpie's affinity with shining jewels represents the distillation of the alchemical quintessence that arises from this process. If the magpie has chosen you to work with, you're embarking on a magical journey in which nothing is ever as it seems. Because divine thieves, you know, like Prometheus, have a deep resonance in our psyche. We have to be awake enough to steal the truth back from the gods, who've placed us in this hall of mirrors called the world. I also like the message my magpies are giving me about my hen's eggs. Protect the precious golden eggs of the feminine, you know, because the hen represents the divine feminine. And perhaps there's something precious, some quintessence in my life that I'm taking for granted. And that's why Mr. Magpie has come up. And I'm going to have to think about that one. Perhaps that's his message to me, something I'm taking for granted. Think about these things.